everyone, welcome to another review. It's Friday again, and it's review time on UK Sim Reviews. Hopefully this week is better than last week. Oh, it's been... when you've got a baby that's less than 6 months old and is poorly, let's just say sleep does not come into the equation, and consequently you forget a lot of things. So the and ahhing last week, you would have to forgive me. What are we doing this week? Well, we're staying up in Scotland. Last week we did the Glasgow Airport Rail Link, and this week we're looking at the Edinburgh to Glasgow link as a route add-on for Train Simulator. The usual sort of stuff. What is it? Is it any good? What do you get with it? Etc. 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 So it's one of them self-explanatory things. It is Edinburgh to Glasgow. You start for Edinburgh Waverley, and it goes via Haymarket, Edinburgh Park, Falkirk High, etc., etc., to Glasgow Queen Street. Quite an interesting route. It's when you start at the Edinburgh Waverley end, obviously that's the termination for the East Coast Main Line, and also there's the route down to the West Coast Main Line via Carstairs. So there's potentially for those long Class 91 and Intercity Class 43 locomotives running in and out of Waverley. It is overhead, but obviously once the line goes past a certain point, then you lose that overhead capability, and it's the usual sort of stuff, so diesel locomotives only. I haven't done the review yet of the Scottish East Coast Main Line, which includes the Forth Rail Bridge, and up to Dundee, I believe, if memory serves me right. There will be a video coming shortly, but obviously that includes Edinburgh Waverley, so it's nice having that central point where a lot of packs sort of terminate. Obviously there's the Just Trains East Coast Main Line Newcastle to Edinburgh as well, so nice central point, and obviously it goes off to Glasgow Queen Street, which is the first time we've seen it in any of the add-ons. What else do you get with it? So it includes Grangemouth Intermodal Terminal, which is great. So we've got a proper freight terminal there for all you freight junkies, and actually the line, as you can see on the map now, goes north to Stirling, which is included. It's an interesting track for me. I think it's not one of them where it's the sort of a fixed speed all the way through, and it's a little bit boring. You have a variable speed limit. There's sort of various driving, I don't want to say conditions, but it's steep gradients and shallow gradients and all that kind of stuff. You get, in addition to the route, you get the Class 170 Turbo Star, which it's a DMU. It's quite nicely modelled, if I'm being honest, and you get 6 scenarios with it. Yeah, great. It did come out in 25th of March 2011, developers Thomson Interactive. Obviously back then it was published by RSC, now it's Dovetail Games. Obviously the age thing, and if you've watched any of my other reviews, you'll know the older scenarios, I don't want to say weren't built with the best intention, but they don't have that attention to detail that the newer routes have. The Chatham Main Line one, it has actually the proper codings and all that kind of stuff, and they're really, really good. This suffers from a sort of, you only see Class 170s for the majority. I'm going to caveat that. Obviously, you've just seen the start here. There's the Class 43 pulling into Edinburgh Waverley, but other than that, you see those occasionally at the Edinburgh end and nowhere else. but the rest of the time you're kind of stuck seeing Class 170s really. The nice thing about this route, if we want to call it that, is the additional add-ons. So if you bought the EWS and Freightliner Class 08 pack, that's on this route, and your scenarios are on this route. The Freightliner Class 66 V2, if you was conned into buying that, because I'm saying con because let's face it, they've done 3 Class 66 which just reskins and charging us a hell of a lot of money for it. So yeah, well done guys. Yeah, so if you purchase that, those scenarios included on here. If you bought the Class 57 Freightliner, those scenarios are on this route as well. So if you just go down for the default route, add-ons for Train Simulator, there's actually quite a lot you're going to run on this route, which is really, really nice. There are Armstrong Powerhouse packs. I think there's 2 that you can get. One a sort of a BR Scott Rail era one, and one a modern era one. So there's a lot of expansion capabilities on this. I've done a few zoom outs. It's one of them early routes where the scenery at the side of the track is really good. If you zoom out, it's a bit pants, so they've done like a generic wall, if I want to call it that, of scenery, and as soon as you pop above that, then it's just like open nothingness, which it's all right. I mean, from a cab point of view, you'll never notice it, but if you're outside of that, then you absolutely will. And that's down to the age of the route. I think they've got a lot better recently. But these older routes, these are the things you really need to sort of just accept it if you're interested in the route. What is it? How much does it cost? So on Steam Store at the moment, it's $24.99. You can buy it as a twin pack with the Class 08s for $29.99. It's pretty good. Like I said, for me, the scenarios are a bit average. If you're gonna buy this, I bought the Armstrong Powerhouse packs. They're awesome. You know what you get with them every time, and it makes this really playable. And there's a lot of variety in there. I think if you just bought this, you'd kind of get a bit sick of seeing Class 170s, if I'm being brutally honest. But it's quite a playable route. It's enjoyable, and you've got these branches off to different places, which gives you that sort of variety that we do like, rather than just a point-to-point route. I think a couple of downsides, though, the bits of track that go off and they've modelled in quite some distance, the scenery does disappear, which is frustrating. It's one of them. It's like, well, if you're going to do that, just terminate a portal and don't put the effort in putting all that track in, or do the scenery. Just one or the other. You can't do half a job, and that frustrates me with a lot of the branch run-off type things. It's like, if you're going to put all that effort in of putting it in, then finish the job and do it properly, guys. But as a whole, there's really popular landmarks. So Merrifield Stadium's in there. There's some TDM depots in there. I've already mentioned about Grangemouth Intermodal Terminal. So yeah, if you want I don't want to say a non-main line off the route thing, but it's not London to somewhere that's a major express route with 125 mile an hour speed limits. But if you want a decent line with reasonably high speed, with nice bit of variety in there, so you can use your freight stuff on there. You can do stopping passenger services on some expressish type stuff. I don't think you're going to go far wrong with this. This is quite a nice route. Because of its age, because the 6 scenarios are a bit average. $24.99. Not sure. Again, it's one of these that I've purchased this in the Steam sale. I can't remember if it was a Christmas sale or a summer sale, but I purchased it a good few years ago. I definitely didn't pay full price for it. I think there's some things that I sit down and think, you know what, I'd absolutely pay full price for it. So if you take the Exeter route, and I kind of use that as I don't want to say a yardstick, but you know, the Riviera line, that's $14.99, and you get an extra DMU, the Class 143 with it. It's really well detailed. It's a good run. There's variety in there. Obviously, you've not got the freight stuff on there, but the scenarios are really detailed. They're really good. It feels really, really nice. And then you look at this and you think, you know, that was $14.99. This was $24.99, and for me, there's a bit of disconnect in the pricing model. If this was $14.99, it'd be a no-brainer. Steam summer sale, whatever, winter sale, absolutely buy it. You'll have hours and hours and hours of fun with this. $24.99, not overly sure. But yeah, that is the Edinburgh to Glasgow route add-on. It's one of the older routes, looks good. And I think, you know, if you want to tie things up and you know, you like joined up rail stuff and you want to go from one to the other and all that kind of stuff, we are going to cover the Just Trains East Coast Scottish Main Line. You just saw HST passing there, which would have come over the Forth Rail Bridge. We'll be doing that add-on very soon, and we'll also be doing the continuation of it down to Newcastle with that add-on as well. That's coming very, very shortly. But there you go. That's it. I hope you found it useful. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, if you like it, please like. If you really like it, subscribe. We're going to be doing one of these a week. I've got some more sound add-ons from Armstrong Powerhouse to review. I'm going to start doing some locomotive reviews. I've kind of obviously mentioned the Class 66 rip-off that's been happening, but I'm going to go through and review a lot of the locos, you know, the packs with it, what you get and all that kind of stuff. So all that good stuff is still to come. So hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in a week's time. Bye bye.